I give Wisconsin a lot of credit. They came in here, much like we did at Northwestern, and they brought the fight to us. They played really hard. And they were tough. They were physical. And we just didn't get, for whatever reason, we didn't get going until late in the second half. And you can't do that in this league. You got to be able to play 40 minutes. And I don't know what's going on at home. We're just not playing good basketball in this arena right now. And that's my job to figure it out. But we need everybody, and it's a process. We have to continue to get better. We'll watch this film, we'll learn from it, and we'll start preparing for Ohio State. We have to move on. But we definitely need to learn from this, and the inconsistencies are back, right? You have a good game at Northwestern, and you take a step backwards. And somehow I got to figure out how to get more consistent. And that's my staff and my job to figure that out. And trust me, we will.
Coach, what do you think it was in the last 8 minutes or so that the offense sort of started to click for you guys a little bit, or was it just hitting shots?
Sometimes it's that simple. Might be because we got some more stops and we finished the plays instead of giving up 13 offensive rebounds. I thought we played pretty good defense, but when they get extra possessions like that, they're backbreakers. And the kids get deflated. We're a youthful team, played a lot of young guys. Donovan Jack actually hurt his back, so he couldn't go back into the game in the second half. And, when you're not making shots, sometimes you play to, your energy level plays to whether you're making or missing shots. But we started getting stops at the end there. Shots started to fall. BT finally hit a couple. Shep, or one. Shep hit a couple. Peyton got hot. I'm proud of the fight. There's no doubt I'm proud of the fight. But I'm just disappointed. I don't know where we were for 32 minutes. And I give Wisconsin that credit. I give Greg that credit to have his team that prepared, ready to compete on the road.
Pat, your defense kept you in it for most of the first half, and then you had that spell early in the second half. What went wrong there defensively?
Yeah, they jumped us the first couple minutes. We didn't score on the first couple possessions, and they did. Nigel Hayes played terrific. And they got a terrific freshman in Hap. We knew he was good. Trust me, he was up on the scouting report. We did not sleep on him, but, obviously Jordan Dickerson only played 9 minutes. He had 4 fouls. Our bigs were in foul trouble. So, and give Hap credit for that. But we were deflated. We had to burn a timeout, and they went on a nice run. They made the extra passes. It's another thing we did the last 8 or 9 minutes. We shared the ball a little bit more. We did the little things that we were trying to work on the last 3 days to help us get those open shots. If you told me I was going to make 20 free throws and 6 threes against Wisconsin, who doesn't foul, I would be very pleased, and I think the outcome would go our way. But the offensive rebounding and us turning it over 13 times, I think that's the difference.
In regards to that slow start to the first half, how much do you think is related to the emotional upset over Northwestern? Do you think there was any hangover from that win?
It's January 21st. We got to mature a little bit. And we have small successes. We have to handle our business with small successes. So you have a small success, you got to move on and get better the next day. And that's what I have to do with this team. And that's why I keep saying consistency or inconsistency. We just got to find some consistency. I know I'm playing younger guys a lot of minutes, but we have to find some way, some consistent level of effort every single day in practice and in games. And we will get there. Trust me, we will get there.
Coach, what is it about Nigel Hayes that you think physically presents in such a tough matchup, especially for Brandon Taylor?
Man, he's tough, he's strong, he's smart, and he's got a bag of tricks. He's so versatile. He can make threes. That 3 was a dagger in my mind. We did a really nice job on Candy and blitzed him, and it was a tough play. We're just a little slow on the rotation, and he drills a big 3. But that's what he does. And he's unselfish. I don't know how many assists he had. 5 assists, 1 turnover. He's a big-time player. We knew that last year. And he was the difference for them last year as well. But now he's the #1 guy on the scouting report, so it's a little bit different, and he still did what he needed to do to get his team a victory.
Brendan only attempted 1 shot in the first half. How do you turn him from a guy that plays as well as he can when it's there into a guy that can go and get what he needs to get?
He's got to do the little things. You know, he's the top guy on the scouting report, right? So he's going to have to do the little things. He's got to get in here. He's got to be the hardest worker on this team. He's got to watch film, and he's got to understand Nigel Hayes is big and strong, and he's got to demand the position that he wants. And he can't sit down and wrestle just because he likes that certain position. He's got to go to the other side. We got to move the floor. He's got to do little things to be able to help his teammates and get his teammates open shots. And he will do it. He's disappointed with the way he played tonight. He picked it up towards the end there, which is great. And he's been real consistent all year. Brandon Taylor's been real consistent. So I know he's going to come back strong.
Coach, going off the previous question about Nigel Hayes, how do you think Brandon Taylor responded to the assignment of matching up with Hayes? I know he struggled offensively early in the first half, but I mean, him and Hayes were just going at it all night, it seemed.
Yeah, they battled there at the end. It's a great battle. The last 8 minutes, he really battled. But again, we need that consistent effort for 40 minutes. The goal is to play that hard for 40 minutes. Northwestern, 36. You know, we're going to get there. We got to get there. We got to keep developing the good habits. You know, the battle was great to watch, but there's 10 players on the floor. So there's help defense. There's 5 guys against Nigel Hayes. It's just not Brandon Taylor and Nigel Hayes. I appreciate the question. It's not the NBA, though.
Pat, big picture, you know how hard it is to climb up in this league. How difficult is it when you lose a game to a team that's right there kind of with you in that same order when everybody's kind of trying to claw their way out?
Yeah, it's a good question. And I can't get caught up in, where everybody is in standings. And that's just never been my thing or my MO. I'm just concerned about Penn State and Penn State basketball and developing these players and getting them to be the best team that they can be night in and night out. I tell them, don't worry about outcomes. If you play hard and play together, the score will take care of itself. And when other things get in our heads and there's a lot of distractions, especially at home, you're not going to play that 40 minutes of Penn State basketball.
It may not necessarily show up on the stat sheet, but Davis seems to be a guy that just is improving game by game noticeably. But is he a guy that sort of makes some heady plays out there? Do you see the improvement out of him?
Davis is getting better, there's no doubt. He's still a freshman. We got to continue the process of developing him. He's been sped up the last couple of games. He's just got to slow down a little bit. He's also going against bigger guys, so he's losing his legs a little bit too. So that's why he's not shooting the ball particularly well, and he's a lights-out shooter. So we got to, he's only a freshman. We got a long way to go here. 11 games, and we're just going to keep developing him, working with him in practice, and getting him in to watch film so he feels more comfortable. I just think he's a step slow or a little hesitant out there because he's unsure of exactly what he needs to do. But he's going to be a great player.
One more.
Is Shep pressing?
Shep was sick. Shep was sick on Tuesday, had a stomach bug. So it went through the team Monday, Tuesday. But I'm not using that as an excuse. Shep understands that, his role in this team. He's got to show up every day. He's got to go to work. Again, he's probably first or second on everybody's scouting report to embrace that challenge and try to get better. And, not put your head down when things aren't going your way. Just compete as hard as you can. And Shep's going to be fine. I've said this a couple times. He's only a sophomore. And I said last time at Michigan State, we're a little bit on the roller coaster. We just got to buckle down, hang in there, and just trust this process of getting these kids better. A lot of games left, a lot of basketball to be played. Thanks.